Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with the best Elite Barbarians Royal Giant deck in Clash Royale. Royal Giant has been one of the best win conditions since the start of the game, and in 2022, it's still the same. There are so many different versions to run, but I think the E-Barb's Firecracker one is by far the most fun. As soon as it crosses the river, the Royal Giant gets right on tower, doing a ton of damage, and Elite Barbarians deal some of the most damage in the entire game. The problem is, they get distracted and overwhelmed by swarm units pretty easily. But since Royal Giant doesn't care about King Tower activations, you unlock your true potential, being able to use cards that most decks can't. So your Firecracker and Electro Spirit can pop off and eliminate those swarm cards that would stop you in your tracks, giving your Elite Barbarians and Royal Giant a first-class trip directly to your opponent's tower. And while your opponent's tripping and fumbling through their card cycle, trying to find a building to put the end to the madness, you'll make them so mad with your Earthquake to shut down their building instantly. Let's go jump straight to some games and assert dominance with the best Royal Giant Firecracker deck in Clash Royale. This deck is used at over 7,900 trophies, so no matter what your skill level is, this deck can be played at any arena. So let's go jump straight to some games and assert dominance. Thanks to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to support the channel. All right, we got a game here, and unfortunately, we don't have Elite Barbarian. So if this guy decides to bridge spam me, no juicy positive elixir trades for me. I'm gonna Firecracker, and for the first time, I feel comfortable playing Firecracker and not caring about King Tower activation. Yo, he's got Firecracker too, but if you don't have Royal Giant and I activate King Tower on you, you're gonna have a bad time. I'm not gonna activate King Tower just because it's gonna be able to cost a bit too much elixir for me to cycle a Tesla or something along those lines to activate King. Just doesn't make sense with my card order. I'm gonna Skeletons here to guarantee that the Valkyrie doesn't be able to break through. And he's gonna activate King Tower here with Skeletons, but it's okay because I think the Firecracker, no, he didn't even activate King Tower. He missed it. Yo, he's got Firecracker and he can't even activate King Tower against Firecracker. I guess it makes sense. He thinks it's really OP and he's like, I can't activate King Tower. No one can. Okay, I might be able to get away with a good trade here and activate King Tower with my own Firecracker. I know it feels bad doing this, sacrificing her, but it's for a noble cause. Getting that 3-for-3 trade and making sure that we can shut down whatever win condition this guy's throwing at me, we're vibing. We're showing him how it's done activating the King Tower. Yo, okay, Goblin Drill. So this isn't too bad for me because I can log the first Goblin and then I can go for Skeletons after and probably shut the rest of his stuff down. I want to go in for Earthquakes if he's going to drop that placement. So in the future, we can go for an Earthquake on top of the Tesla, and then afterward, he's going to expect us to go in for an Earthquake, so he's going to drop his Tesla up higher, and we can snipe his Tesla with our own Tesla. Big brain plays. We're figuring it out as we move. And I might be able to outcycle him here. We'll have to wait and see. I still don't know if he's got anything besides Goblin Drill. Does he have wall breakers with it, or what is he relying on here? Yeah, as we said before, I want to go in for the EQ if we can. I should be able to finish off the Firecracker with only one hit, and the Royal Giant is going to do way more damage. And it's going to tank for a little friend, the Firecracker. Let's go. My Firecracker actually beat his. I don't know how that worked. It seemed like his Firecracker was moving towards my tower instead of targeting my Firecracker. So that was really good. I'm going to finish off his Fire Spirit so it doesn't get any damage. And in this type of matchup, when you're playing against someone with a control deck, it is always better to cycle your Royal Giant in the back. Because if they cycle the building, you can Earthquake it. If they cycle the building too fast, then it decays over time. And if they don't cycle the building, then you just cycle 2 Royal Giants after it kills your first Royal Giant with a building. So it's not too bad. It's really pretty good. And I think I Electro Spirit here, going for double Royal Giants as I was talking about before. Firecracker's going to fight in the middle, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to EQ on the Tesla. The first Royal Giant sneaks and slithers his way through, and he is biting on top of this man's tower. Wow, that is crazy amount of value. And as you guys can see, the double Royal Giants, they kind of motivate each other. They're best of both worlds, making sure that you get damage on the tower and tilt the opponent to the point that they don't even know what to do. All right, we got another game against someone with the Dark Goblin banner. Dude, I want that. Dark Goblin is one of my favorite cards in Clash Royale. Definitely top 5 for me. My favorite has got to be Magic Archer. He's the most unique. I think he's balanced, yet also a super skillful card. Let me know down below in the comment section what your guys' favorite card is in Clash Royale and why. So this guy is going to go for Hunter. Having that out of cycle is incredible for us because I can Royal Giant and hope that you don't have a huge high damage dealing card like Mini P.E.K.K.A. If I go Tesla, this is great because it's going to be a 4-for-4 transaction. The Barbarians are going to get dismantled by our towers since we drop it in the middle. Both the towers are able to focus that down. I don't necessarily have to respond to the Goblins. I want to make sure that I have my Skeletons in cycle for this and then go for an Electro Spirit. And I think I might even have to log if I didn't drop this fast enough. I think I don't. That was so close. I didn't know if the Electro Spirit was going to be able to clutch up in time and stun that for as long as possible. Usually, if you can not spend the 2 elixir with the log, You're going to be benefited by the fact that you can supplement your aggression with more elixir with the Elite Barbarians or the Royal Giant a bit faster. So that's super important with this deck. Defending minimally with your 1 elixir cost cards, so you know you can get away with a lot more on offense. So I'm going to go for skeletons here. Expect them to maybe go in for some small spell on the firecracker, so I drop my skeletons a little bit higher up. You know, I'm just petrified of opponents going in for arrows randomly when I haven't figured out what their entire deck was. So firecracker's going to hit the tower. He whiffed and missed. That's beautiful. Because now I can go for an Electro Spirit. He dropped 5 elixir, and that's going to get shredded by E-Barbs. So last time he decided to go for Hunter, right? Let's see if we can get that out of cycle again. No, he's going to Magic Archer instead. Magic Archer dies to Earthquake plus Log, if you guys didn't know that. Another really cool interaction. If you guys, for whatever reason, decide to run a Mirror Earthquake deck, if you Mirror Earthquake on Zappies, it kills Zappies. A lot of people will get surprised by that interaction. He's going to have Hunter, so I'm going to predict it with the Firecracker and have that lock onto the tower, because you want to drop your Hunter as close as possible, right? Wait, he just dropped his Hunter super late. That's beautiful. I think my Firecracker kills the Hunter if I log. This is so good for me. I should have logged a little bit sooner, so then the Firecracker stayed alive and then gave me more value. He pre-snowballed and didn't hit anything, but now he knows that he's going to be able to get value because I don't have my skeletons and I don't have my E-Barb, so he rushes through with the Royal Ghost on the right-hand side. This guy is no slouch. He's a good player. I'm going to have to go in for a Tesla here, last possible second. And the Firecracker is still alive. It is such an obnoxious card. I think that Firecracker is one of those cards that I would include in every single one of my decks if I could, but I can't because I can't afford to have the King Tower activation. But specifically in this deck, it really pops off. I'm going to go for E-Barbs. He's going to bait out more Elixir with the Royal Ghost. A bit obnoxious, but it is what it is. If he's down Elixir because he has to defend the E-Barbs, I can go in for my Royal Giant and get some value. Wow, the Royal Ghost allowed us to go in for the Royal Giant. I feel like it was more of a summoning circle for him. Beautiful sight to see. I'm going to go for a Tesla, and I'm going to sacrifice my Electro Spirit so then we can make sure that the Royal Ghost is going to go under the Tesla here. And I've got E-Barbs in case he wants to go in. If he wants to follow up with a Battle Ram, I can just shut it down with E-Barbs very easily, so I'm not too scared. I think that this is best for us because the Royal Giant will be able to at least give us 1 hit. Even if you get the connection, that's going to be enough damage for us to finish the game. GG, well played and peace out. Sometimes you got to take a little bit of damage to finish off the game a bit faster. We got a game against someone that's got tilt in their name. You know what, dude? We're going to fulfill the prophecy. We're going to make you tilted to a different planet. We're going to drop those Elite Barbarians on your head, and you're not going to be a happy sir. Okay, whenever we see poison, I'm immediately anticipating and suspicious of a graveyard deck. Those skeletons are going to creep up on me any second. You know what? We're dropping our skeletons in the back, so I guess I'm right one way or another. But I want to Earthquake on top of the Tombstone, so then he's not going to have it in cycle, so then we can liberally cycle our Royal Giant and get value. You know the best part about this? If the Tombstone's out of cycle and we bait out the Knight, what high damage unit does he have for the Royal Giant? Oh no! He's got Zappies! Oh, I thought this was the standard Splash Shard deck. That was a twist, man. I wasn't ready for that one. It is what it is. I think that if we get a poison out of him, that's a decent trade. And then with the Zappies out of cycle, we know that he's going to go in for a Tombstone, and then we can log that. The Royal Giant should be able to one-tap it, and then we go in for the log, cleaning up all of the skeletons. That's a lot of damage. If you don't have Tornado to pull us off, we are pulling through with so much value. Our Royal Giant is one of the most reliable win conditions in Clash Royale, and he will always be strong for that reason. If you can just get him near the tower, he will deliver a ton of value. Okay, so that Electro Spirit leaves a lot to be desired. I wish I dropped it one more tile to the right. We're just gonna like pretend that never existed. I gotta just shield myself from that horrible play. But you know what? Everyone makes misplays. I don't always play perfectly. Wish that was just a bit better. Okay, so cannon cart. As long as you don't make a prediction here, I think we're okay. So I'm going to drop my skeletons not directly on top of the cannon cart. I can drop them off to the side since the cannon cart doesn't really have that much HP and also less liable to getting, you know, prediction. All right, I'm going to EQ here and wait a couple seconds for the graveyard skeletons to start spawning. A lot of people will just go in for the Earthquake immediately. And if you do that, you're going to take a ton of damage, like way too much damage. You want to wait a couple seconds before you go in for the Earthquake to counter the graveyard skeletons. Before the, you know, if you drop it before the skeletons spawn, you're going to be screwed. All right, so we want to log this. That should be fine. I think that the skeletons are going to get cleaned up. Yeah, I know. You got a mobile 2 elixir graveyard, and I'm a mobile gaming athlete. We are just a match made in heaven. Okay, if I Earthquake here, I'm not going to be able to break through, I don't think. Got just so much damage on the potential of... Oh, we do get a hit! I didn't expect that. That's clean. The graveyard's going to be obnoxious, so I got to go in for like an Electro Spirit here and then log. I'm saving my log because the log can hit a lot of stuff. So I'm making sure that I can clean up the Skeleton King as well. Oh, this game is coming close down to the wire. This is not a good matchup because he's got so many different ways of stopping me with his zappies and then also the tombstone. So we got to rush through and try to make this happen right now or never. I guess you want to go opposite lane in this matchup, but we were kind of forced into this position. Wait, the Royal Giant's onto the tower. He's going to go for the tombstone. Can we log? Can we just get a bit of damage with the firecracker? Oh my gosh, he's going to go in for an all-in push right now. Any second, he is going to go and bombard me with a graveyard. And if he doesn't do that, I can go in for another Royal Giant at the river. Why is he doing this? He's letting me kind of cycle him? This is interesting. I don't think he's going to be back to a tombstone and cycle. So I'm going to Earthquake as soon as I possibly can. Just one Royal Giant hit is all I need. Come on, baby. Let's go. So that matchup is not easy. If your opponent's going to end up having Cannon Cart for damage per second, they're going to have Zappies to reset the Royal Giant, and then also a Tombstone for distractions. You might have some trouble if you're only going to have Firecracker as your ranged unit instead of like a Dark Goblin or maybe something else that can damage down the skeletons from the graveyard a bit better. But we were able to pull it out in the end, and that win was unbelievably satisfying. There's nothing I like more than crushing Skeleton King. I think it's the most skillless card in Clash Royale. Let me know down below in the comment section what you think is the most no-skill card. All right, we got a game against Skylight, so it's time to radiate down and give this guy a frown. We've got Elite Barbarians, and we're going to illuminate his life to the point that he actually knows what the best deck is. Spoiler alert, I don't think that Royal Hogs are as good as they used to be. Everyone and their mother is running Valkyries, Skeleton Kings, tons of splash damage. So I think that if you're running Royal Hogs, Royal Recruits, it's a pretty good card combination because you're able to bait out the Valkyrie or bait out their splash damage. But if you're just running Royal Hogs by themselves, I don't know. I personally haven't been able to make that work as much as I wanted to. Anyway, I'm going to go for a Royal Giant because he went for arrows. It seems like he's going to be down a bit of elixir, and we're able to pull back the Royal Recruits. Maybe get a lot of value here. Also, Earthquake plus Log fully counter Zappies. So I am able to get a lot of value that. Oh my gosh. So we drop 5 elixir. He drops 4 with the Zappies. And we get all the added benefit of our spell cycle damage. So I like this a lot. I'm going to Electro Spirit and just wait and see if this guy wants to go in for a small spell. I don't want to go and drop my skeletons into anything if I don't need to. Yeah, looks like I should be able to shut down the little piggies and not give him some arrows value because it would be pretty annoying for him to get extra damage on our tower. If I go for a Royal Giant when we're both at a low amount of elixir, you might go in for a Goblin Cage. You might decide to go in for Royal Recruits. Yeah, you're going to go in for both. All right, you're going to go in for Goblin Cage and a unit. We'll see what we can do. The one thing I dislike about this matchup is I do not have a good answer to our opponent's Fly Machine. Fly Machine, it's my best friend and also my worst enemy. When I'm playing it, it's one of the funnest cards in the game when it locks onto a tower, or when your opponent doesn't have a good answer, you're just like, yeah, I love it. But yeah, in this specific situation, we're going to have to rely on the Firecracker, which will almost always get arrowed. So not necessarily going to be the most reliable counter. Notice how I'm dropping in the right-hand side, because if my opponent decides to go for arrows, I want him to be able to arrow the, healthier tower for us, so to say. Okay, do I want to go for E-Barbs here? Yeah, I need to. Okay, so I don't have Log, which is pretty unfortunate, but it seems like the Firecracker wants to help out. Oh, Firecracker, you're not shooting. You just took a year. You just aged at least a couple years in dog years. I can't believe that. That's not a good girl. That is not a good girl. Now appreciate that. Firecracker was a lost puppy in that situation. But the Royal Giant has found its new home, and it's taken that tower. Oh my gosh. So all I have to do is defend, and then I think I'm able to walk with win. So I'm going to go for Tesla in this position so it's able to lock onto the Fly Machine first. And you can snipe Fly Machines in the middle, but, you can only do it a couple times because they're going to get onto your sneaky tactics. They're going to get onto your plays, and they're not going to let you do that too often afterwards. Firecracker on the other side, as you guys can see, it's going to be immune to letting him fireball or going for arrows and hitting that tower. And it will still be able to get that spontaneous combustion on top of his units on the left-hand side. So drop it in the right, make sure that you won't have any fright of spells, and delight in the fact that you're still going to be able to take out their entire push with your Firecracker in the right-hand side. Here we go. On to the next one. So I'm just going to go for Electro Spirit. Have no clue what this guy's going to do. So it's better safe than sorry cycling a 1 elixir cost card. If you activate the King Tower, well, it doesn't matter because, we've got Royal Giant. And we're going to make you drop your elixir ability before you want to. The Firecracker is going to latch onto the tower and deal a solid 300 damage in the process. So for a 2 elixir trade, the 1 elixir ability, for the 3 elixir Fire Spirit or Firecracker, we get a ton of damage. So I think that's worth it. I would say for 300 damage for a Firecracker and 2 elixir, that's not too bad. I'm going to go for Skeleton since the mini P.E.K.K.A is going to be able to get distracted by that. And even if you go for a Zap, you wasted a ton of elixir. So we now know that this guy is 100% got a Sparky deck. So he's going to Sparky on top of the Royal Giant. So I want to preemptively go for the Electro Spirit to reset it. Wait, what? I'm so confused right now. You realize that the Golden Knight is going to take a century to kill my Royal Giant. Like straight up. Going to take a century. If you click the ability, yeah, you're going to dash onto my tower. But at the same time... Oh, wait, you don't even dash onto my tower. Oh... Let's go. I'm so happy. I feel fulfilled right now. In this very moment, I'm happy. And the U-Barbs give us a hit each. Wow. We're in an amazing position. Commanding lead. So we're currently only having to defend this tower right now. If I can pop off with a decent defense here, I think I solidify a W. We'll see if we can do it. We're down a lot of elixir, so we're putting our mechanics to the ultimate test. If I go for skeletons, I also need to go for an Electro Spirit to reset the Sparky so we can keep the skeletons alive. And then I can go for a log afterward. Please! Oh, that was so close to denying all damage. I should have just dropped the log immediately on top of the Sparky, but I was trying to roll and hit some of the Spear Goblins that I missed anyway. It is what it is. So if I Royal Giant at the river right now, he's going to go for a mini P.E.K.K.A. I think that the mini P.E.K.K.A doesn't deny all damage, so that's going to be enough damage for me to guarantee that I take tower. So that's good. And it also delays his next Sparky push because he's so captivated on defending that he shouldn't be. Nice. I'm going to go for the firecracker so we can cycle back to another one. I'm going to go for skeletons as well. I think the firecracker is able to give us some damage on the double Sparkies. Oh, wow, he's got mirror with this. I didn't even notice that originally. I'm going to log so we disrupt the Sparky animation so we can get more value. I'm going to go in for a firecracker here, and then I'm going to go for skeletons up high so then when he goes in for a Golden Knight ability, maybe he dashes onto that. Can I just cycle multiple Teslas and be okay? I think that's probably the way. Ooh, no, Sparky, don't come out to play. Don't ruin my day. Oh my gosh, that was scary for a second. I don't know if you guys have ever seen your life flash before your very eyes in just one subtle second. That was it. That was the moment that I was petrified of what was happening. Okay, we got to sacrifice a firecracker. I'm sorry. Your life isn't more important than my tower. It had to happen. And he's given the goblin emote. You guys know he's tilted. Whenever someone laughs at the end of the game when they barely lose, yeah, they're not having a good time. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more daily videos, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.